All right, back here live at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. Hi, everybody. David Burrows with my friend Connor Burke. And boy, oh boy, if like you want to, you go to the movies and you're like looking for the climax of the movie to finally hit.
Right?
We're here.
I feel it. The gravity of the situation.
There was a time in movies where you paid 5 cents for the movie and they called it a cliffhanger. You had to come back and pay the 5 cents to see the rest of the movie.
That was like Casablanca, right?
Right, all that stuff. But that's another version of what we're getting here today as the Sting play host to the Sioux Greyhounds, Connor.
Sold out arena. Standing room only.
Standing room only. Well, that's an attestament to the fans, but I do want to give credit where credit is due, as they say. There's quite a few Sioux Greyhound fans here, too.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of white and red walking around.
There's a bus out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they're faithful. I could see they might have picked their spot over there.
They might have.
I'm sure they'll be in my section, too.
Well, and why not? This is a critical game, Connor, as you know, and we'll get to the points and the standings in a moment, but first thing I think we want to do, I think we were both kind of, how do you describe, not taken aback. So the post-game press conference, which if you missed is on my Facebook, or you can go to Sarnia Sting's Facebook. And Dylan Sika was the post-game press conference on Sunday after a loss to Erie. And like, you and I both saw the same game. Like there was lots of effort on both sides.
Hard fought.
They're hard fought from the Sting. They kept going. I didn't see them take the gas pedal off by any means. So when the press conference began, the question started with tough loss tonight, and Dylan. I look back now. I look at the replay, and right away I see the reaction on his face, and he waited and he politely said, I'm not sure that I'm going to agree with that statement categorizing this as a tough loss, because they're all tough losses. These are young teenage boys. I don't think he was making any excuses for the results. I think he's just saying they are into it, they are passionate about it, and at that age and that mindset, every loss is a tough loss. Your thoughts?
You can't disagree with that. It's a good statement. I think maybe it's tough, not tougher on them, but maybe tough in the way that you could have given yourself a little bit of space with the win in 2 points, and now you almost have to win tonight. Whereas if we had won on Wednesday, it would have been, well, we got a little bit of cushion here.
Right.
So still tough. All losses are tough. But
right. Yeah.
I think standing wise, that's maybe what the question was being phrased as, and he got a little defensive, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think the question was meant as tough. I don't think it was meant by it. It was just a question, right? But rightfully so. The GM stepping forward. I feel like it was, and I don't know. I haven't talked to Dylan yet. And Dylan, if you happen to watch, like, we're not picking on you. I thought it was a good statement, because I feel like, and some others around the arena regularly and I have been talking, and I'm like, it's just been a different vibe this year. While the fans have been supportive, there's also been that, like, beating up on this team and the coaches and I know there's an expectation, but I don't even, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you feel a different vibe this year than, say, even last year?
Yeah, I think you get a lot of leverage and leeway when you're, like last year, such a young, really a young team.
Yeah.
People get pretty impatient and expect results. You're halfway, we're almost done this season, and maybe you'd like to be a little bit higher in the standings than we are, but
sure,
that's the way it is. I think you're probably going to have a better chance next year, and maybe you're going to move some pieces and see what happens there, because we're still in the stage of, we just came off the playoffs, a deep playoff run, and you can say it time and time again, but they're young. They're young kids.
Yeah, that's right. You could be Guelph.
The only team that doesn't look like they're breathing down our neck right now, actually.
Well, and let's. Anyway, I thought it was good that Dylan came out, and I did find there was a bit of a defense mode there, but I think rightfully so. there's a lot going on. Like we always know that, we think we know what's going on, but we're up here, dry and warm with our microphones on our heads. We're not down there doing it. But
in the ivory tower.
Right. So, anyway, kudos for Dylan to come out and speak like that. I think some were just surprised at how that went. But I mean, especially as the GM, like you have to spin the positives. I mean, you and I as broadcasters, we have difficult in London.
Right.
How do you spin the positive on that, right? So to be able to do that and still move forward, as he mentioned as well, like, he even said, he goes, I'm not worried. It's coming. Yeah, well, nothing like cutting it right down to the wire, but, that's where we're at. And tonight, I guess, time will tell. Let's go take a look at where we are, like the Western Conference overall, right? Like I said, there's, I mean, we definitely got a win as Greyhounds are just like a point behind us, or 2 points behind us. But Owen Sound only a point behind us.
And they play tonight as well. They play Guelph too, so that's a bit of an opportunity to get some points for them. So you end up getting passed maybe by Owen Sound if they win tonight, and then you're in a tough position because only 2 teams don't make it.
Yeah.
This is one of them that really wants to get in as well.
Well, and even if we give the win already tonight, there's still a battle coming ahead. Barrie's on the list next after today, then Windsor.
It's no easy points.
Right.
No. Yeah, they didn't throw us a bone here at the end of the regular season.
Throw me a freaking bone here. Yeah, it's not happening. But it's that validation that comes out at the end of it when you do come through tonight, and then, man, if you can push past Barrie and Windsor, that confidence level that we often talk about goes way back up right before you come into the playoffs if you can pull that off, and that's a really good time to build that up.
Yeah, those are top-notch teams that if you can beat them, then why not? Why can't you do it against? Well, it looks like it's going to be London or Kitchener, but yeah, definitely a huge boost for the confidence going 4 or 5 games left in the season.
Yeah, right. The big finish there, folks. One of the things that Dylan did mention as well, too, that I really liked was he talked about Dalen Moses, right, and his passion. And, Dalen really showed up on Sunday for this team, and of course, I won't forget your guy, Ruslan Karimov there.
He spoke on him as well, right?
Right, and he mentioned both have such passion for this game that, really shows up for this team. Yeah,
2 goals and almost the hat trick.
I know.
Battled on every shift there. And I noticed he mentioned that he had probably spoken a couple words of English. Maybe, I think a word of English actually is when he first came over, and how hard it's been. He hadn't seen his family since he's left.
Right.
How hard that is on a young person in a new country with a new language.
Never mind a different city.
Yeah.
New country.
With a totally different language.
With everything that's going on in the world, that's got to have some effect too, I would think.
I'm sure, yeah. With the war going on in Russia, you got to be worried about your family back home, certainly.
Yeah. So to be able to come through and show up like he has for this Sarnia Sting Hockey Club is really quite an incredible feat, especially at that young age.
More than impressive, yeah. I'd love to see it, and he's really showed up. I like Dylan mentioned that he's probably one of the more liked players in the room by everyone. He hosted one of the Super Bowl events, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Very cool.
Yeah, so kudos to those 2 players. Kudos to the whole team, quite honestly. Nice to see Carson Holland there as well.
Yeah.
It's been a while for him.
Yeah, he doesn't show up in the goal section very much. When he does, you can see how much it meant to him there.
Yeah. Ryan Brown was another one that seemed to really be working hard out there, but was just, we kept seeing a lot of work from him out there, and he's one that we said, you mentioned earlier in the season he had that sophomore slump, and then he seemed to come back out of it, but then he kind of went missing that consistency, I guess.
Yeah, I think for sure, especially maybe even at home, actually, we don't get to see his best talent, which is his shot, and I think it might be the best on the team. It's kind of a bummer you don't get to see it more often because it's such a sniper, and maybe a lack of confidence, but I'm sure he'll get back to it.
Yeah, maybe. All right, well, before we carry on, let's go over to our TikTok where we're also live as well. We don't want to leave them behind. And for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, there's where you can follow Dav Burrows right now, but make sure you follow my friend Connor there. Okay. My uncle is there. Okay, right on. We're up to 2,000 likes on TikTok. We were a little short on Sunday, so we're trying to get up to 40,000 by the end of the second period. Abby! Oh, look, she's like, David! She's shouting my name. Don't worry about that Connor guy. Nice to have you back here, Emmy. You're a sweetheart for being here and looking after things. Kevin's here. Gretzky Trades is here. Oh, we got the center heart from Abby. I'm just trying to catch up here. Got a cheer for the Sioux tonight. Oh!
Tough.
I was just saying nice things about Abby.
You blew it.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah, I know. Is that where you are? Are you in the Sioux? I can't remember. Tyler, the wheelchair goalie. Hello. Nick is back. Barry's going to win. Oh, boy, look out. I know that's where Nick is. Boy, all these traders in the chat. Go Sting. Win for Travis tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Owen Sound. Right. Yes. And they're playing tonight. And Nick's a Colts play. All right. We'll let you stay, though. You just got to tap that screen.
Black and yellow.
A little bit more.
Black and yellow
Black
hearts.
and yellow. That's right. Let's take a look at our lineup here as well. This is, you'll be happy to know your boy's in the first line again. So
Yeah.
I guess after those 2 goals, he's earned his right back in.
Kind of
to line
tough
one.
to demote somebody after a game like that.
Could
So.
you imagine?
Yeah.
What did I do?
I don't even know if anything's changed other than we're finally getting to see Evan with a start in quite a few. I think it's been over a week anyway where.
Yeah. Oh,
hasn't
Evan
played.
Malik. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't. I wanted to ask the question, like why did we?
Should have slipped that one in, David.
Yeah, well, got to be positive on.
But
that
other
stuff.
than that, yeah, I think it's the exact same lineup as Wednesday. I believe maybe Brown and Edwards were switched, but.
No, I don't. Yeah, maybe. I can't remember. But no, I think it's all pretty well straightforward except for Evan Billette in there. So, I mean, that brings some excitement to this game as well. And while we're happy to see Nick have a break after everything he's been through out there, Evan, I see him from up here. I'm always looking down, and he's like, he's moving his body, and he's just itching to get out there and perform.
I'm sure. It's tough to watch your partner get all the starts, and I'm glad to see him back. Actually, it's probably some well-deserved rest for Nick.
Right. You have some high expectations though of Evan when you see him out there.
Yeah, for sure. He looks to be the goalie of the future for now because Nick's gone, and we're gonna have to either develop one of our drafted goalies or trade for one. So
right. Well, and that's going to be interesting coming up in April, right? When all of that happens, and what will we see, from this team, and as Dylan has mentioned, and Coach Al Letang has mentioned in the past. When that happens, it's like, the boys are attached to their phones. They're getting messages from, whomevers that are reaching out to them. Hey, would you be interested? All that stuff's going on. And they're still trying to play hockey all at the same time and focus on what they have to do out there in that arena.
Tampering behind the scenes. How do they find the time? Yeah, they get fined for that in the NHL.
Yeah, for what?
Just when you're texting your players saying, hey, you should come join our team break your contract.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a lot of movement, especially with the USHL and the NCAA agreement.
Yeah,
that
right.
Happened.
That'll
be a really, really interesting offseason.
A first-time thing too, right? Now that those rules have been changed out there. So, but that's got to be just on the mind of any player in the OHL right now, no matter where you're sitting, whether you're Guelph at the bottom or you're London right at the top. What am I going to do with my life? What's the next move for me? The next step? I'm listening to. Mom and Dad are advising me. My billets are advising me. There's so many people talking in your ear, right? With good intention, I'm sure, trying to help you make those choices that are tough for most 17-year-olds.
Yeah, everybody has the right answer, right? So you You just gotta.
It's like golfing with 4 of your buddies. No, hit it like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he told me. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's such a tough decision, and I think with all the stuff that's happening, it's going to be there. It looks to be like we're going to get a lot more teams in the league, and maybe not as much commitment, like a full 4 years in junior.
Right.
Maybe it might be 2, and the NHL's got their mitts involved in this. So.
To be sure, yeah. And like you just mentioned there too, more teams likely coming into this league. Would you be happy to see that, or do you like the numbers where they're at?
It's tough to have change, and you like the OHL as it is. But I think the more the better, the more opportunities for players to crack a lineup. And, and I think that's just breeds better hockey, probably.
Yeah, it can, for sure. A lot of positives there for sure. And then we could do a whole show on that debate, right, for sure. Who just followed? Bullseye just followed us. Thank you. Let's go Kitchener Rangers. All right. I guess. Stevie Gogo sent a gift. Stevie Gogo. Where are
right
you,
on.
Stevie? Are you still out east? He was going out east to start something up anew, and I saw something about some scooters as well. And Stevie, if I ride my motorcycle out east to see you, will you put us up? Will you feed us? Will you let us ride scooters with you? Or, I don't know, going from a
What if
motorcycle
he's in an
to
RV? You're gonna go join him in the
yeah, Stevie will put. We're pals.
share a bed.
Well, same room. Abby's tapping away out there as well. We're on our way to 4,000 already. Yeah, well, tonight, again, this is going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be some, I don't know, where both teams are sitting, do you think we'll see some aggression out there? Or do you think it's like, you know what, it's too close, we just need to score goals?
I think to start, it's probably going to be a lot of chess match hockey, and then see how far the score gets run up. But I'm sure there's going to be some frustration involved. Both of these teams are dying to make this playoffs.
And fairly equal, to be honest, right? We'll see how the referees set the tone out there. It's always been said they really do. From the first period, they say, okay, this is what's going to happen, or no, that's not going to happen.
It's always a wild card. I can't predict for them, and they do a tough job, so I won't say too much.
Probably better that you don't.
We'll keep it there. For now, anyway.
Yeah, until the first period intermission when he comes up, and then you never know what's happening out there. But
beep.
Yeah, right? Okay, we got that ready for you. I don't know. I'm not a golfer, but, apparently you don't have to be that good to golf with the Sarnia Sting, because they've got that coming up on July 15th. They're going to be having their annual charity golf tournament, which supports the Sting Assist, which supports a whole bunch in our community. So you can go to sarniasting.com to find out more about that and how you can get involved and sign your team up. Well, I got to tell you, I've been thinking about this game all day. Like, I was doing my other stuff around the house, and then, about 1 o'clock, I sit down and I start preparing for our broadcast, and there's just so many directions it could go. And what we haven't talked about yet that I mentioned to you before we pressed play, we could see a couple of ties here.
Yeah.
Right?
It's come down to...
And we could even see a three-way tie at some point.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the semantics of the game. You can't just look at it and say, oh, I've got more points, I'm making it. Probably come down to the regulation wins. Whoever played less OT games is going to slip in there. So
I'd like to
just another added challenge.
Yeah, right. The three-way tie, though, I want to see, well, if that were to happen, I'd like to know, when was the last time that ever even happened in the OHL, when there was a three-way tie?
It's a great question. I'd have to go do some research for you on that one.
See how I did that? I don't have to do anything. I just bring it up, and then he's going to be all over it. Right?
Encyclopedia.
He'll have a good or a bad answer when he comes back, but I'll have an answer either way. And by the way, really interesting. I was talking to Terry Doyle from Your TV, and he said, yeah, they take the wins. If it was just 7 and 8 that were tied, then they'd have another game. But if it's a three-way tie, then they go by the wins in regular. Never mind. It won't be the Sting. We've had too many overtimes and shootouts.
Yeah. You want every point you can get at this point.
That's right. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap things up here on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, we want to give a shout-out to our friends at Hughes Intelligence Canada for allowing us to broadcast the entire season up here. Thanks to Barry and his team for their hard work and the services they provide here for Sarnia Sting as well. And thanks to Sarnia Sting for including us. It's coming into my 10th season up here, so I just kind of like, how did that even...
decade.
Like...
Just like that.
How did that happen? I still don't know how to spell sports. That's the truth. Look at that, $2,400 already on the
24.48. Just went up right before our eyes.
Well, that's what happens when you have a sold-out capacity, standing room only. And I gave away 4 tickets. They're over there, so glad to be able to do that as well. But that's going to be it for now. I suspect we're going to have some interesting things to talk about when Connor comes back. If you want to stay continuous with the broadcast, you got to come over to TikTok, and I'll put that up there one more time. That's where you can find me on TikTok, where we're live, and you can also go up there and give my friend Connor a follow there as well. But as always, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm David Burrows, live from the Hughes Intelligence Canada Hockey Suite, and my dear good friend Connor Burke. 1, 2, 3, go Sting, go!